kick me that punt, I'm gonna run right past you. It's like they showed us we control our own destiny. Like we ain't worried about a name, about anything. To us, ain't nothing bigger than this block C. Like,
Did you guys have to do a rookie dinner?
I just know the bill came back and the bill was like around like 25, like maybe like close to like 25K. Like you said, like one of the most memorable moments because like we blacked out the Jumbotron like that day. Like it went black. It got so loud in there. It was crazy.
All right, we're here for episode 11 of Tailgate Talks with DeMarco and Garcia. Big win for our Gamecocks this past week over Oklahoma and Norman. Shane Beamer goes back to Norman and takes the soul out of him in the first 2.5, 3 minutes of the football game. That was a blast of a game to watch.
Yeah, man. I was as I tweeted, man, I was a good old fashioned passionate ass whipping. It was good to see, man.
I mean, our
We needed
defense, holy smokes. Kennard and Dylan Stewart and Nicky and Demetrius. Defense is playing at an extremely high level. Lenore's looked more comfortable.
Travian's got those boys fired up, man. That D line is, I mean, that's elite.
Yeah.
We would not want to play against those guys.
No, not at all. And I mean, Lenore's statistically didn't have a killer game, or the offense didn't have a killer game, but they didn't need to. Which was good just to see us go out and execute and play well. Josh Simon had that big catch in the corner of the end zone right before halftime. Like you said, just a good old-fashioned ass whooping. And then we got a bye week. So heading into the bye, we got 2 weeks to get ready for Texas A&M, as we talked about before. On our first bye week, Shane Beamer works them hard during bye week, as they should, because they have that weekend of rest.
Yep.
So I would imagine we're going to be hopefully coming out and playing a heck of a lot better than we did after the last bye week. Leading into Ole Miss, I would imagine we're going to be sharpening our toolbox, and the boys will be getting ready to get dialed, because realistically, we are a couple plays away from being 6-1 and top 10.
It's a season changer, man. Like you said, a couple plays away from being 6-1, and that's the SEC, man. That's college football in general, and yeah, I mean, we definitely need to come out with our hair on fire after this bye week. Opposed to what happened last bye week.
This is a fun football team to watch. They compete really hard. They have a lot of fun. You can see them celebrating and turning up on the sideline a little bit and really getting into the game. And like I said, man, this defense, we might have the best defense in the country from front seven to secondary. I mean, Nicky has how many picks? ODS how many picks? Kilgore has multiple picks. This is a group that makes a lot of plays, and I mean, quite frankly, if it wasn't for the defense playing at this level, we would not be having the season we're having. But
I agree.
But they're holding it up, holding it down.
Yep. And that's something you don't see very much in the SEC or in college football in general anymore. Is defenses just playing with their hair on fire, and it's refreshing to see, especially when they're playing for the good guys. So yeah, we just got to keep it going, because I'll tell you what, man. I mean, as you've seen A&M play, their freshman quarterback, that kid can freaking play.
Yes, he can.
So we're gonna have our hands full, So we got to focus in, dial in, and lock in for this bye week and get ready to rock and roll at Williams-Brice in 2 weeks.
Yeah, we talk offense, defense. Our guest this week, though, might be the most electric special teams player in South Carolina history. How much fun was it talking with Ace last night?
That was the most fun one I think we've had so far. I mean, just the amount of stories and the stuff that he was saying, just stuff that I didn't even remember hearing. I mean, you remember hearing what he was saying when all the receivers, I don't want to spoil it, but when all the receivers came in that room.
Yeah, Ace held nothing back. I think the listeners are really going to enjoy hearing his story on why he came to Carolina, what he experienced during his time at Carolina, the relationships he built, and then his time after and what he's up to now. So make sure you tune in this week and listen to Ace Sanders here on episode 11 of Tailgate Talks with DeMarco and Garcia.
Yeah, it was that was definitely fun, man. He got into character, and that was really damn fun.
Yeah, we had Wi-Fi this time.
Yeah, for sure. All right, folks. Welcome to the latest episode of Tailgate Talks with DeMarco and Garcia. We got our boy Ace Sanders.
Yeah, Ace. Let's go.
He's here.
What's going on, man?
Dude, you ready to rock and roll or what?
And I'm always
It's been a while since we've all connected. Ace, I think the last time I saw you was a preseason game when I was in Atlanta and you were in Jacksonville. I
Yep.
mean, probably 8 to 10 years ago.
Yeah, that's
So good. We're excited to have you and to reconnect and let you tell your story of Carolina and afterwards and what you're up to now. It's kind of, if you've been tuning into our shows, we're having former players on and letting former players say why they love this place so much, what their favorite memories were, and then also what you're doing now, and let Gamecock Nation know what Ace Sanders is up to now. So Steven's going to run point on this one, and I'm just going to sit back and relax.
Oh yeah, let's go.
All right, so look, man. So we're going through your career at Carolina, man, and it was, I mean, it was definitely, unbelievable to say the least. What is your favorite moment in game?
I know some of mine for Ace Sanders.
My favorite in-game moment, I have two, but the first one was ECU game when we played ECU. ECU, that was really the first one because I begged. I feel like that was Coach Beamer at the time too. I was on the sideline begging him to let me be the returner like that whole game. And it just so happened, and it's like I wouldn't wish this on nobody, but Stephon was just having a rough game returning punts that game. Like he couldn't judge the ball. It was windy, and when I get in, they just kick me like a low line drive straight. I'm like, this guy, he want me to run this back. This is easiest. So that one was because he was like, look, on the sideline, Coach Beamer, he literally was like, man, look, I'm gonna give you one chance because you keep bothering me. I'm like, I'm gonna bother you all game until you let me go back. So he I'm gonna give you one chance. If you don't score, don't ask me ever again. I'm like, all right, cool. Right, I take them odds. Low line drive. I'm like, yeah, universe with me on this one. And the easiest track around the edge, mosey through the middle. I'm like, I really didn't even have to do people show that highlight. I'm like, you don't realize I've had way tougher returns. That was easy, but I'll take it though because it got me the job. So I was like,
got you going, yeah.
It got me going. So then fast forward to, like I tell people, Georgia's cool. I love the Georgia return, but I like my LSU return better. It was more so that. That was my one because of the two defenders I split right away. They were both first round draft picks. And I sliced both of them perfect. I mean, just a little bit of time to think about what I was gonna do and just said put your foot in the ground. And I sliced them. I said, oh, it's over with. But I didn't like how I ended that return. I should have just kept running. But it was, I don't know. But yeah,
I'll tell you
LSU
I thought, what was it, the Missouri one that you shook pretty much the
ran
entire
into DeMario.
yeah.
Oh yeah,
Mario. Oh, he was always in the way, man. Hey, it was like me and Pat were talking. Some guys are just always in the way. You got Cedric Sneed that's always in the way, trying to congratulate somebody, and then DeMario, man, he was always somehow always in the way, man.
Sneed found his way to the camera every
Every
game.
single time.
He knew it. Sneed was gonna get that cameo, boy. There was nothing he was doing about it. But yeah, I like that return too. That's one of my favorite returns. But them other two were just, it was just it's a little different. We were just real. That LSU game, man. It was because it was built up. It was supposed to be built up. So I kind of got let down because Honey Badger had gotten in trouble, so he didn't play that game. So it's it was getting built up, returners with two top returners, and he's gonna have to be matched up with me all night. So it's once he got in trouble, it was this boy, this boy. I was probably more sad that he got in trouble than he was, literally.
I mean, there's a lot of.
Go ahead, Pat.
I mean, a lot of Gamecock fans will say that the most electric they've ever seen in Williams-Brice Stadium was Georgia 12 when you had that 70-yarder. Went lateral and then wham, right up the gut.
Right up.
Tell us about that.
And dropped the punt too. I dropped that ball. And luckily, again, the universe, God, however y'all want to put that ball right on the ground. It didn't even move. Just able to pick it back up. I'm like, that's odd. Everybody know when you muff a punt, that thing bounced everywhere. But it fell right to the ground and bounced right back up to me. And like you said, one of the most memorable moments because we blacked out the jumbotron like that day. Like it went black. It got so loud in there. It was crazy. Like picked that ball up, made one person miss, got to the edge, and I think that was like one of my only touchdowns that I had like running to the student section. So it was like, like if you get a touchdown running that way, like it's a little different than running in that other end zone. It's like, so that one, I'm like, my eyes got big once I saw. I'm like, that's crazy. Like white towels and everybody. I'm like,
this is my people.
Like I'm coming home. Like, I'm coming, So it was cool. Like the whole scene afterwards, just like, and we knew that was it. They ain't coming back from this. Like that was it.
No, that was 100% the nail in the coffin for those guys.
Yeah, that was over with. From that point, like they had players out there like telling us they was ready to go home and stuff. I'm like, I'm looking at. You can ask Bruce. Like me and Bruce on the field, like we chirping so much, like we talking to everybody. Like any DB that says anything, we didn't care. Cats out there like, but my draft stock this. I said, you get your ass whooped tonight though. Like I don't care nothing about your draft stock. If your draft stock right there, that means mine just went up too. So hey, whatever. Like, and they like literally
pleasure doing business.
Nice business transaction. Like But that game was.
I'll tell you what, man. There's a couple fan questions. We'll get to those a little bit later. This is a question as a fan of you, man. And I think the fans would want to hear this. Is you're going against Gilmore, DJ Swearinger, Antonio Allen, all these NFL guys. Playing against Honey Badger and these other guys. I mean, it's nothing. Man. I mean, it's another day of practice.
Man, nobody.
Can you explain more on that?
Nobody can tell me anything about a game. Like I tell people all the time, my toughest days at South Carolina were the practices because you literally had a first team defense, like, and I mean first. I mean I don't put them boys behind nobody. I don't care how people feel about politics, Alabama defense. No, I don't feel like it was a defense better than that defense that we had from every single piece of that defense. It was crazy. So, like you said, going against Antonio, which is literally one of the smartest people in the world when it comes to football.
Yep. When it comes to football, for sure.
And then literally the second smartest person in the world, I don't feel like get enough credit for Devontae don't get enough credit.
Yes.
Devontae was like literally one. And then you get DJ, who is all brains. They think is all bronze, but don't know how much work he really put in the film room, in the weight room and stuff like he does. Like, then you got Gilmore, who's just like a all-around, all-American type of dude that's just up there. You know what I mean? Then you got people coming from behind the scenes like Keem McGusty, Victor Hampton, CeCe Whitlock, Jimmy LeGree, which people don't even know about like that. Like, it's like, I'm like, man, look, in practice, one-on-ones, anything we do, it don't matter who's up there. It's about to be a good competition. Like, you don't get it.
And I'll tell you this, man, and I did a thing with Pat, I don't know, a couple episodes ago. He was batting heads against Jasper Brinkley and freaking Norwood.
He had to go through some shit, Pat.
I know.
Rodney Park, even Shaq, bro. Like, even Shaq, bro. Like, man. Like,
Rodney Park's crazy ass, too.
Oh, Rodney Park, jeez.
Paul Gresh.
Yeah.
Damn.
I still have nightmares with some of those guys.
Man, that's what I'm saying. Like every day in practice, it was literally something. It was literally something.
I mean, it was all out war.
Like I know, like with those scrimmages, those are real games. Like
I
physically remember DJ trying to kill Lat and trying to kill JB. Like I remember that. I'm like, nah, like they hitting for real. Like, coach, ain't no slowing them down, and they don't care if you yell at them either. They finna keep playing how they play.
Hey, but you're missing one key person. You guys will get a kick out of this. Juice Man, Blake Baxley.
Oh gosh, Blake Baxley, yeah.
Baxley, you better believe
he brought the tone on.
He definitely did. Full. Energy, like I said, man. Come on, man. You ain't gonna ever
forget Juice Man.
Man.
Ace, you had a lot of awesome moments as a returner, but I feel like you get slept on as a wide receiver at Carolina. I mean, you started off, you scored 2 touchdowns your true freshman year. You scored 2 again your sophomore year. Your junior year, you had 9 touchdowns. I mean, maybe statistically one of the better outputs that Carolina receiver had. Tell us about your growth as a receiver over your 3 years.
Shoot, it was like you just said, it was just something to really pay attention to. I also just having to split the field with damn Alshon. Like it's like Alshon out here. Like I never felt any type of way about, like you said, any of that stuff. Like when you got somebody on the other side like that, or even lined up on the same side. I used to love when I got lined up with him. Like shoot, like I just know like I got a better opportunity this time. But he's still doing shit like he's still doing shit like it don't matter. He's still catching the ball behind his head one hand while holding somebody up. It's like, all right, man, there's some stuff like, hey, give him the ball. Like give him the ball. But my growth just came within like, what was that?
Real quick, you'll never believe who just called me, Tori Gurley. I don't know if this thing live, Dakota, because Tori
live
Gurley
stream with
literally
Tori.
just called me. Tori just called. He just texted me. He's like, "Hit me back, bro."
Look,
that's
man,
funny.
Go, man. That's go, man. You know, Tori was a right place, right time person too. Like you had to, like I started watching Tori. Like I watch you. I see how you move. I learned a lot from Tori too. Like I see how you move.
Tori was a smart football player.
That's I always looked at Tori. Tori was the political one in the group. Like this is him. Like this the model guy right here. Like,
he took me to Ruth's Chris to buy me dinner to get him to throw the ball a little bit more to him.
The political guy. I'm telling you. I peeped Tori. Like I was like, yeah, Tori got it. Like I tell you, I'll take a little bit of that. Like I'm gonna take a little bit of that from him. But that's Tori. That story right there don't shock me at all.
No, it was funny, man. Him and Wesley Saunders were always trying to get me to throw him the ball a little bit more.
That's another name that really like had we that 2010 season, had we had West, like that would have been another big. Oh man,
Wesley, he's an interesting character on Instagram.
He is. He's like a model now.
That's exactly what he is. He's a dancer, model, all that. Wes. Wes, man.
Wes was one of the best personalities on our team.
And
like there wasn't a party that he wasn't at that like it wasn't a heck of a vibe. Like he did. Okay. He just brought the energy, brought the juice.
Okay.
I mean, he was part of our. He was our recruiting class, Steven. 2007. Yeah. I mean, we had a hell. I mean, shoot, we were like the number 4 or 5 class in the country that year. And there were a bunch of 4 and 5 stars, and there was one measly 2-star. I brought the ranking down a little bit.
Hey, it all worked out, man. I mean, and Ace, that's kind of something that, Pat, I'm glad you brought that up. I don't know what your opinion is of it, Ace, but I feel like, when we were playing with Spurrier and that whole locker room, we all played like we had something to prove. We had some sort of chip on our shoulder. Like, that was Coach Spurrier's recruiting pitch to me. It was like, you can go to Oklahoma, go to these other schools that have, tradition and a winning history, or you can come here and kind of start your own legacy. And I feel like we kind of embodied that whole thing.
Yeah. That was like the number one thing that kind of was a draw for me to get there. Like my visit was, I love my visit to South Carolina. Like it was crazy. Like I love my visit. Like first of all, that let's just lock that in. That sealed the deal for me. Like my visit sealed the deal. Like I called all the schools and was like, yeah, I'm coming next week. Like you ain't even come and visit. I'm like, don't need to. I don't need to. I'm good. I'm good.
I found my spot.
I'm good. So, but it's so much to like kind of say and to put like into like what you just said. Like you guys embodied that so much. Like that played a role into like a lot of us coming, and like we didn't even really know that was enough for us to trust. Like I said, my recruiting class with Lattimore and everybody, Dylan, all of us, Nick Jones. You could put Brewston in there now. He was with us, but he came on his basketball scholarship. But we talked him into playing football. Like we had Victor Anthony, like all of that. Like once we got up there and we just seen like the atmosphere and just what you were bringing. Like I said, that just went into like my decision to like, nah, South Carolina, that's where it's at, because I was kind of like different coming out. Like if it wasn't South Carolina, I literally was going to USF. Like I was going to USF. Even with all the offers I had, like people were looking crazy. Like, why you want to go to USF? If you had a chance to meet Jim Levitt at the time, you would understand. Like,
Oh,
like if you had a chance to meet,
Levitt was real.
like you would have understood. Like, no, but like I said, a lot of stuff was just happening. Like he gets into the situation at USF and literally gets fired from there from getting into the altercation with the kid. And it's like I said, my toss-up teams, it was always USF or South Carolina because of people I had.
Yeah.
Yep. I had Coach Levitt and I had Coach Mangus. And it's like, yeah, like these two good, like I know they'll be good for me. Like I know they'll be good for me. I know they'll be good to me. So it's like, and like I said, this is all before NIL, dog. Like you feel me? Like I still like, so it's like real genuine. Like no, I know they'll be good to me for genuine reasons. You know what I mean? So once I got up there, and like I said, the visit was already everything, and I can clearly look up everybody who's there, and it's just like, man, like nah, they got something. They building something over here. So it's like,
yeah,
we took that. People don't know, like we took that. Like that 2010 class, like me, Latimer, we took that and we ran with that. Like after y'all left,
sure
like, we ran with that. Like no, like they showed us we control our own destiny. Like we ain't worried about a name, about anything. To us, ain't nothing bigger than this block C. Like what's wrong with y'all? Like I don't care about Bama. I don't care about nothing. I ain't never lost to them. I ain't never did none of that. Like I don't care nothing about none of them teams. They ain't good to me. Like to me personally, like they ain't good. So it's like that's kind of like
we had a bunch.
Yep.
We had a bunch of tough ass dudes who were wired right, wanted to go compete, wanted to prove people wrong. And I'll tell you, I mean, South Carolina's sitting here right now currently at 4-3, but golly, they embody a lot of the stuff that our teams did.
Agreed.
They play hard as hell. They're never out of a game. It's been really fun to watch the growth of Beamer's team and kind of the culture that he's building over the last few years.
He knows.
No,
that's why I say, like, Coach Beamer knows.
Yep.
He knows. Like
he was there. He was there.
He was there. He knows. You know, he knows. I got the experience for 1 year, but I was like, I know he knows. And then he's coming from pedigree as well. Like, not on top of it, just he knows. Like, they've been doing this forever, man. Like, I'm happy that he's just getting time. He has gotten the time that he needed with this team to get familiar with him because, like you said, they do embody a lot of stuff that we did
with a chip on their shoulder, man.
They play with a chip. Like I enjoy watching them play. Like we all know like, the past couple years wasn't, but I was like, look, we see y'all fighting now. Like that was us. Like man, the chip's gonna fall where they fall. What we know is we finna go whoop some ass. Like however that look, we whooping ass. Like, and that's it. Go play, man. Go show that spirit. Go act like you want to be there. Like act like you want.
I'll tell you what, man. I haven't heard the name Jim Levitt in a while, and he recruited the hell out of me. Obviously, being a Tampa guy,
he was right there.
And I was like, I got it. I said, I got to get out of Tampa, man. I'll get in trouble here. Then I go to Columbia and probably got in more trouble.
Oh, you had a clean record in Columbia. Clean.
Oh, yeah. That's what it was. He had a clean record, boy.
I think everything's expunged at this point.
I never like the sombrero and the bulletproof vest that lives on, but I don't care what nobody say.
Vince Carter jersey. I mean,
that live on. Boy. I tell people, I still got it. They like, what? I'm like, man, look, we had a good time. I don't know what y'all talking about. Like, we had a good time. All while
I still got the bulletproof vest.
All while handling business, we had a good time. Like,
yeah. Steven would come out like we would have a house party. We'd be getting ready to go out to the bars, and I'm like, hey, Steve, you're effed up. Like, let's try to keep this as low key as possible tonight. Let's try to not get in trouble. He's like, I got you. Let me go change real quick. He comes down in a freaking sombrero and a Vince Carter jersey, and I'm like, dude, you need no help sticking out. You have the longest hair in town. You're the starting quarterback. I'm like, oh my gosh,
it's lit. What the blue monk get you out of there, boy? Like,
hey,
thankfully we had really good. Thankfully we had really good people down in 5 Points at certain bars that took care of us and kept us kept us safe, and knew what we needed. Knew when trouble was coming. They took care of us.
Shout out to Village Idiot.
Yeah, Brian Glenn, that's our guy.
But bro, like, could you imagine like if social media had been where it is now?
Nope. I wouldn't have lasted as long as I did. I would have been a one and done.
Yeah. All right, Ace, tell us about the 20.
That's how bad I know this is, because that clip of like the train that I am Bruce, that thing is still going around, like on the sideline.
yes.
Like I'm like, man, if they would have called, man, that ain't like. I'm glad them cameras went around, boy.
No doubt.
Yeah, that
no
could have
doubt.
been bad news. I'm gonna turn this light on real quick.
Yeah, all those ghosts that running around the old Williams-Brice Stadium and all the stuff we did, those ghosts can stay ghosts.
Man, they can stay ghosts.
Yeah.
Treat it like Vegas.
Hey, Ace, tell us about the 2012 Outback Bowl and kind of what that led into the decision to leaving early and all that stuff.
Well, See, look, now we finna get against. He got a whole, like, it was the decision from the Outback Bowl. Like, it prompted a lot. It held a lot of weight in that decision, but it was just some things that were already going on prior to that. It was just like I kind of felt, and it was some stories and stuff. As far as like being phased out goes. And this had been like a little tradition, like in the wide receiver room. Like I've heard these stories from people who've come and left that I know played pivotal parts of those teams. You know what I mean? Like, and then I kind of, watched a little bit of it with Alshon. You know what I mean? His junior year, and we, how that went. But really, a lot of stuff was going on. The Outback Bowl itself was. I couldn't paint a better picture, but I know a lot of it gets gets overshadowed by literally by like Clowney's hit. Like a lot of it gets overshadowed by Clowney's hit. But like I said, like people don't even realize that I was the MVP of that game. I was the MVP of the Outback Bowl. But that hit was just so crazy, and like rightfully so, because even when it happened, I was like, ooh, that's crazy.
Hey, the ball don't lie.
Ball don't lie. It was a real ball don't lie moment. Like it was just like one of those moments I was like, this man just turned the tide of this game. He just turned this. He just said F the refs, F all that. Like it don't matter. That's our ball. I said that's our ball. You took it. I'll take it back. Now what? So I couldn't even say anything. Like, yeah, he just made a play. Like that's a play that you probably won't see happen anymore.
Maybe ever again.
Ever again. Like you won't see that play happen.
I mean, without some sort of flag or something. I mean, that's a penalty in today's football.
Yeah, that's over. They would call target. They don't even care if he was the runner. They don't even care. They would have called that. That hit, that was and the crazy thing was, like I tell him about that hit, like I didn't see it. Like I was still upset about the call. I'm on the sideline, literally still talking to other teammates, like, bro, that's bull. Like, bro, it was not a first down. Right? And all you hear is a car crash. Boom. And I'm like, turn around and look at the Jumbotron, and I see the dude, like, helmet, like, rolling. I'm like, what just happened? They like, bro, Clowney just killed this man. And I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
But, like, between that hit, but, like, outside of that, for me, like, shoot, I was back at home. Like you said, like, that's Tampa. That's pretty much just like home. Like, I know enough people.
Yeah.
So, we got into that altercation that game. Like before that game, I didn't get into an altercation. I was out there with DJ getting into an altercation before the game. They thought it was okay.
DJ.
They thought it was okay to do pregame amongst like the entire field. So when we came out, we didn't have anywhere to warm up at. So the long snappers is snapping to the field goal holder. He's snapping it to him, and they just working on snaps. So DJ like times the snap up. So when he snaps it, he runs and catches it, and he punched the shit out the ball. He kicked it all the way in the stands, and he like, that's where you need to take that. You need to take that shit. Like you feel like. So like it got into a whole situation. They coach strength, coach ran. We all run over there. We like so that was before that whole game. So like DJ, he a party starter. So now like my adrenaline flowing. So now I literally tell the punter like before I tell him like, man, you kick me that first punt, I'm gonna run right past your ass. Like, I promise I'm gonna run right past you. And he's like, what? And I'm like, you kick me that punt, I'm gonna run right past your ass. Like I don't know if I'm speaking Spanish to you or not, but I'm telling you, kick me that punt, I'm gonna run past you. So it's like that entire game, like coach was like, we might go a lot of punt safe, and I'm telling coach like, no, we're not. Like,
give me one. Just give me one.
Like if you go punt safe, I'm gonna field it. I'm gonna try to return it. I'm just telling you now, like it's all or nothing right now. Like It's a lot going on with me that y'all don't know about. Like this draft stock involved, like everything. They kicked me the ball. I'm showing out. Like that's just what's going on. So he gave me the first return. He was like, all right, it's backed up. Like they backed up. Like he got to kick you one. What you want? And I said, double the gunners. Like that's it. Like I don't care what you do with the pod. Take care of the gunners. I'll take care of whoever else run down this field. And
all the slugs inside, I got them.
I got them. Like, see, it's like process of elimination. Like, you gotta be smart back there. Like, shoot, like, who can really make this play? That guy and that guy. Like, those guys maybe on a good day, but what if it's a good day for me? Like, so I like my odds.
Exactly.
So he kicked it to me. He outkicked the coverage. He's like backed up on like the 3. He kicked it like to the opposite 40, like almost a 45, almost a 45. I'm like, too much space. Like, they're not down here. Press one side, foot in the ground, split straight through the middle. And literally, when I put my foot in the ground, the first person I saw was the punter. And I could see his eyes go. Like, I was like,
I could only imagine.
I told you. Foot in the ground, I ran directly at him. He had no idea what to do. He just backpedal. And I, like, put one more foot in the ground on him and just outran him. And, like, it was just, like, that was the first one. And then, like, from that point, they went, and we went punt safe the rest of the game. You can see, like, the rest of my returns that game were awful because I was taking risks. Like, literally. I probably messed my average up and everything. It was punt safe, like, 3 times. I fielded all of them and kept giving the same excuse, like, oh, my bad, coach. I thought he outkicked it. Like, no, I knew damn.
Trying to make something happen, yeah.
I just didn't think they could tackle good. Like, I was like, shoot, I got to move for all of them. So, like, you can see Keenan, like, get mad. Like, Keenan, like, what the you do? Why are you fielding the ball? I'm like, I'm juiced up right now, bro. I feel great. I feel great right now. I feel real good right now. I got to do it. Like, so, like, between that one, you scored the second touchdown on a little 89 Z out. Give me touchdown on the goal line. One of y'all favorite plays to call. And then
I loved it.
The last touchdown came directly after the Clowney hit. And we ran stutter go. It was really orange and go. We ran all curls, but he sent me on a double move from the slot. And we really didn't have to call that play. Like, every time I watched that clip, I watched them play like 30 yards off the ball, and I have no idea to this day how that dude let me get behind him. No idea to this day. But he let me get behind him. Catching the back of the end zone is crazy. Like, we could have called any other play that went across the middle and anybody would have scored. But we chose the toughest route.
That's that Michigan education right there.
Dude, like, we chose the toughest route possible, and they still let us get away with it. Like,
hey, Ace, you might have to turn on. Hey, you might have to turn on that light.
I just said the same thing. So yeah, that was. And one of these back here. Oh yeah, see, that's funny. You are talking about the Outback and that MVP.
Yeah, there we go.
It's literally still sitting there. So for the proof, for people who don't believe, like, that's still there. Like, I remember I got to the press conference and they didn't even realize I was the MVP. They were ready to talk to Clowney about that hit. And I was like, I understand. Like, I get it. Like, I want to talk to him too. Like, bro, like, how that felt. Like, I never hit nobody that hard before. Like, what that felt like.
I knocked his head off.
Like, literally.
You wanna talk about improving draft stock? That was a pretty big impactful play.
Bro, he got an ESPY award off that. Like, are you serious? Like, bro, like, what? He won an ESPY off of decapitating somebody. Like, come on, man.
All right. So after the bowl game, walk us through like the next few months and your thought process.
Draft process, going to Jacksonville, all that good stuff.
My process the next few months it was literally crazy because I actually waited until the very last day to like enter my name into the draft. I was back in Columbia. I had class the next morning, and like that's how long the decision took. And I had talked to a few agents and stuff at the time, and it was just like I knew at the time, like I said, like I had. It's so funny. I really wish you would have never told me this question already, Steve. Like literally. But I had already knew like all the stuff. Like I had completely checked. I had checked out like all the way to the point of like I checked out like way prior to the point where like even the guys on the team like they start doing stuff and like I remember one time like having to tell DJ and Keem like, bro, like y'all gotta chill, bro, like chill out, y'all gonna make this bad for me because that last practice that I was talking about when Lamar got into it, with Junior, that last senior practice, everybody got to get up and say something to the team. So when everybody was done, DJ was like, "Bull, you ain't finna say nothing. You know you're not coming back." I'm like, "Bro, what are you doing? Like, what you doing?
Damn.
Like, chill out." I'm like, "Bro, I'm you don't know what I'm y'all. Everybody was already like speculating stuff. So it's like, but I'm a person that's like, hey, I'll let y'all know when I know what I'm doing. But like by then, like I had already checked out. Like it was too much other stuff kind of like going on amongst like just situational stuff that I started dealing with playing. So like I said, I went back and forth because like I love Columbia. It's like, shoot, I want to leave, but like college ain't really bad. Like this ain't really that bad in Columbia. Like this, I can do this. Like, so it's like, you know what? I got a call back from one of my agents, and they was like, man, look, they got your draft stock rated anywhere from 2nd to 4th round. I was like, oh. I was looking at maybe like around like 6th or 7th, maybe. Like, I never know how the draft goes. Then I had just went to the combine, and I didn't run the best 40 time that I was running. I'm like, shit, I ain't really helped my draft stock then. So it's like, like I was like just literally like just this and that entire time, just like debating stuff. Like, did I make the right choice? Did I leave? Like after that combine, I was like, did I make the right choice? X, Y, Z, this and another. But that draft stock, that really got me like to a point. It was like, yep, done.
I'm out of here.
I'm out of here. Like, let me call that amongst like I had completely checked out. Like, man, it's just so funny. Like, I can't even say this. I want Steve to ask the question first. Like, literally, because it's like, I'm going to spoil the question. Like, when I say I checked out, I checked out. But he'll ask the question.
This is from a former teammate, a former guest on the show, Mike Davis. Because
he can attest to a lot of shit, man. He can attest to a lot.
All right, let me see. All right. He goes, ask Ace what his GPA was when Maria called him out during the bowl week.
Oh gosh.
Like I said, what I told you that text, but my GPA said NF.L. Like that's it. That's all I say. That's what I say. My GPA said he ain't staying. Yeah, he's not staying. She said that.
He gone.
And everybody like turned around and looked at me like with like really. I'm like, hey man, like hey, it is what it is. I can't do nothing about that. Like. Y'all see the picture, right? Like, so, like,
yeah.
Like, I can say, I'm putting like this. I can say a lot, but it's just like, hey, man, like a lot of stuff started getting like promised to me and stuff like that. Like, it was a mess, man.
Well,
it was.
You made a great decision because you ended up getting drafted in the 4th round in Jacksonville.
Yep.
I mean, your rookie year, holy smokes! I mean. You had 50-something catches, over 500 yards. You were returning kicks. You were had a pretty prominent role in the offense.
Yep.
Tell us about transitioning from being the guy in Columbia. I mean, 4th round pick, like not that much is expected of you. I mean, you definitely overachieved as a rookie. Tell us about it.
It was like I said, like a lot of stuff in that was just all kind of like circumstantial. It was, I don't even think they really expected me to come and have to play the role that I have to play. Like, but in Jacksonville, it was like a lot of stuff just going on. Like we dealt with like injuries like crazy. Like the funny thing about that draft class is I was the only receiver taken that they drafted. I was the only receiver that they drafted.
Oh wow!
And they picked up maybe like 2 more. Yeah, Tobias Palmer and Jamal and my dog Maul. They picked them 2 up off of free agency, and it was literally just us. That was the rookie class wide receiver. So yeah, the 4th round draft pick that was mainly looked at as being a return man. Because that's what my role was going to be, just a return man. And 2 guys that were signed on free agent who kind of like knew like I was going to be a P squad guy. Like I'm here for P squad. And the transition ended up being crazy because it ended up literally just being Cecil Shorts and Mike Brown, Justin Blackman.
Justin Blackman, OK State.
And man, JB.
He was a freak.
Yeah, he changed my mind about a lot of stuff because I had a lot of like comparisons because at the time it was him and Alshon like coming out of college.
Right.
I'm like, I'm with Alshon, like y'all crazy. Ain't nobody better than AJ. I got to see firsthand. I'm like, ah, shit, like this freaks everywhere. Like, what the this? Like, who is this dude? Like, who's this dude? Like, but it's Justin Blackman. I'm like, yeah, it is. Like, yeah, it is. Yeah, it is.
I see that.
So, but you had guys like that. JB had ended up, getting in the trouble that he got. So it left Cecil, it left Mike. I got through into some like they had no idea, like you said, Pat, like they had no idea that I could really do. I don't think they really watched too much film of me like really playing receiver. I think my wide receiver coach knew, Coach Sullivan, he knew, and it was just like one of them roles where he was like, if you could grasp it, it's gonna be yours. You know what I mean? So I got through into some stuff, and that transition is crazy because the only thing that really changed was the speed and the tempo. And boy, it sounds simple until you get up there and like have to keep up with that game. That game is faster than any game I've ever played in my life. Playing up there with pros and people who just know the game, like to the point where, like, coaching adults and playing against real adults who do this for a job. Like, this is not school. They do this for a livelihood.
I mean,
like,
yeah,
when I say they know they shit,
the
like,
playbook.
Yeah, when I say these people know they know they like, you better get with it, like, or you're gonna fall behind fast. I mean,
everybody always asks me, would you rather watch college football or NFL football? And I mean, I live in Columbia now, and I coached at the university for a year and a half. I would rather watch NFL football all day, every day. Like complexity of the schemes, the cleanness. Like, I'm not saying anything against college football, but man, just the way an NFL game is run and methodic, all the like the schematics, the methodical thought process, like it fascinates me.
It's chess and checkers. It really is.
Yep.
However you want to put it, like you can love college football, and I'm one. I love college football. Like you said, which one would I rather watch? Is definitely NFL because the places you've been and you've been able to experience that stuff is like nothing ever beats what you go through on that level. It's like, okay, I had to learn this. I thought I knew. I thought I knew by the time I got here. I thought I knew. I didn't know. Like, I didn't know that I was doing this like this. Like, I didn't know, like, you was doing this, like at this speed, at this tempo, for this long. My first day of of camp, being a rookie, even with them throwing that extra hour on your already long day for you to do financial literacy classes as a rookie, and everybody else gets to go home, but you realize I've been here from 5 a.m. to about 6 p.m. doing football, like literally doing football. No wonder everybody up here is so sharp. Everybody up here is so good. I just worked the full work schedule doing nothing but football. No school involved, no anything. I'm doing football. This is your job now. So adjusting to all of that, understanding the importance of going to sleep, understanding just all the small stuff. Like they were talking about a rookie wall. I will say I never felt like I ever hit a rookie wall because it's like I was already soaking everything in.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's a rookie wall or like a rookie high. Like you kind of taste it a little bit, and you're like, I want more of that. Give me more of that.
And I felt like you said, a mix of a wall and like a high, because it's like I'm just taking it in. And it's like anytime it's something that's just that, like that was required, like that job was required to do. Like, all right, we'll do it. So it's like I could have hit a rookie wall, but I was already okay with doing the work. So it's like, all right, like we'll do it this way, But the adjustment came easy when I had like cats like Cecil Shorts, Mike Brown, Justin Blackman. Like they helped me a lot. You'll go in most locker rooms, and people are on like hesitant to help you. You in the same room as me. Potentially, you can have my job.
Dog, yeah.
And like I said, I go in there and they already tell me like, "Well, we saw your tape, we saw your film already." So it's like I don't know if y'all intimidated by that or not, but those fellas in that room were just like, "No, come on." Like I didn't go into a locker room with vets. The oldest receiver was Cecil Shorts, and it was his 3rd year in the league. Like, so it's like I didn't deal with. I don't feel like my time was like everybody else's time going into a locker room that's filled with veterans that might still go off a different type of tradition and this is the way that this is done. Like our room and our locker room was constantly changing because for one, it was Jacksonville. We were not very good. So it's like we were trying to find out our identity in the first place. So it was no, like all that they talk about like with vets and all that. Nah, it was just a team and then we were a team. Like, and we were all cool with each other. I'd get that one. But it wasn't like that vested stuff like they've been here. This is his locker room. This is no, we didn't have that.
Well,
yeah, let's go win mentality.
This is a question for both of y'all. Do you guys have to do a rookie dinner?
Yep.
Yep.
Did you? How was that?
I mean, mine wasn't too bad because it was just the running back room. I mean, if the receiver room is a heck of a lot bigger, offensive line room is a heck of a lot bigger. We went to, where did we go? So I kind of skipped out on my rookie year because I broke my foot in San Diego. So I kind of got brought into it when I was in Kansas City. So I was treated as a rookie my second year. And we went to was steakhouse down in the plaza in Kansas City. And it wasn't, I mean, it was $5,000 probably. Not as bad as a lot of other guys. I mean, shoot, when Jake Matthews in Atlanta, they racked his bill up. Oof. I want to say we all got a $1,000 bottle of champagne to go. Was how we finished the night.
Well, Jake was a first round guy, wasn't he? I mean, he could.
Yeah, he came with a pedigree too.
Yeah. Ace, what was yours like?
This bullshit, bro. Like,
yeah.
So mind you, too, like. I don't know if Pat was like if you were the only guy in there, like because most of the times like we could pool our money if it's enough rookies and stuff. We could pool. I just told you I was the only drafted.
You're the only one.
Two guys that's off practice squad. They looking at me like, come on, bro. Like I can't. Like I'm like I eat it for us. I eat it for us. Like, but listen, man. Like down the road, like man, me and y'all, we gotta have some type of agreement. We went to Capital. I remember. I thought I was gonna be able to skip out on it too, because we played Indianapolis in Indianapolis our last game. So I'm like, man, it's a away game. Ain't no way they gonna. And we lose again. This team already like we lose again. Ain't nobody gonna want to do this. So I'm like, all right, we lose again. Like, all right, like they ain't gonna want to go out. We lost, and that's the first thing Cecil said when we got on the plane. He was like. Hey, I hope you're ready. Like, I hope you bought your stuff. You don't even go home. Like, just if your girl come and tell her to meet you at the restaurant, that's it. Like, you're not going home. As soon as we get out of this locker room, we're going straight to Capitol Grill. And we only went to Capitol Grill. We went to Capitol Grill. And literally, they ordered everybody in there ordered the biggest steaks the biggest steaks they had on the menu. Like, Justin Blackman ordered three of them. He ordered 3.
Yep.
He ate 2 and took 1 home. Like he was like that. Like he could have ate the 3rd. Like he was like JB was like a country. Like he was real country. It was like I'm thinking he's doing this just to mess with me. Like no, he really can eat 3 of them. So he like I ain't paying for it. I'm about to get 3 today. Like then they turn around. I think each of those like I don't even really remember how much this steaks cost. I just know the bill came back and the bill was like around like 25, like maybe like close to like 25K, and it's because they ordered Louis the 13. They ordered a bottle of Louis the 13. Now mind you, like I'm thinking I'm in here, they ordered like that and they ordered like shots. They had drinks and stuff, and like most of them didn't even drink. That was the thing about it. I'm like, bro, y'all just doing
it. It was just a punishment.
Y'all just doing stuff. Like, and it's like, and they can see me like I'm fucking itching over there. Like, y'all so up. So I'm telling them, like, whatever y'all don't drink, I don't even drink. Whatever y'all don't drink, if y'all think y'all taking it home, got me fucked up. Like, I'm taking all this home. Like, I don't care what I got to do. This coming with me. So I'm thinking I'm getting done, like, the most. Like, I think I'm getting done, like, the worst. Then, like, come to find out, Denard Robinson is in the room because we both in the same draft class. He's in the room next to me. He's running back. They decided it'd be a good idea for the backs in the line to get together.
Oh, no.
right. So he come in and he like, man, what the fuck they just had you do? Man, what the hell you do? I'm like, I'm mad already. Like, man, I know you ain't spend more money than me, right? And they tell you, oh, it's a tax write-off. I don't give a damn if it's a tax write-off. Y'all don't even drink. Like, I don't even care about that. Like, I don't care, bro. Like, y'all don't do this. Like, y'all just gas me for no reason. Like, I'm pissed. Now, mind you, because the whole time I'm going through the years, not like a regular rookie treatment. I don't get the, hey, rookie, carry my stuff. Or I've never experienced nothing like this. Like, no rookie treatment because, like I said, we don't have vets. Like, so I'm not getting the vet treatment. They made sure, and it hit me when we got there. Cecil said, as soon as that first day came, Cecil was like, yeah, man, we just gonna get it. He said it so common, like it just went over my head. He was like, we just get it back at the end of the year. And I'm like, and when I got in there, and it's like, I look at him like, this what you was saying. He like, yeah, you gonna pay for that.
That's
Like, you
unbelievable.
gonna pay for that. Like, I'm like, oh man, you should have just had me carry your equipment. I would have did that. Like, I would have carried all
It is
that.
cool.
I gave them one rule when I got in there. I say, well, if y'all got pranks like liking to cut people hair, this y'all won't touch it. We'll just, hey, we ain't doing nothing with the hair.
What kind
Like,
of
don't
blows
touch
have
my
you
hair,
come to
bro.
that?
Like, don't touch my
That's
We
where
can do
you draw the
whatever
line.
else. Don't touch my hair. I draw it right there. We can do all that. All the other hazing, that's cool. We ain't doing nothing with my hair though. Like, that's over. That's over.
Oh man.
It was.
All right, let's keep talking about your NFL career. I mean, obviously, your rookie, you're awesome, and then a little trouble came your way.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us about the drug policy and all that stuff.
I had to tell you about the drug policy then because it ain't the same now. But
It is
Yeah,
not.
no doubt.
everything a little different now. Now it's just everything is kind of it's out. But really, just with that, like you said, man, just ran into like it was just a bad. It was a bad point. Like it was a lot of personal stuff that I kind of like. I've dealt with and stuff going along with just a new child and doing stuff and like just stuff at home, like just to keep it short, keep it brief. Just
Life,
stuff
yeah.
at home, just life, just in general, just like life and stuff like that. But like I just really at the end of the day just couldn't get that part together. So just like the stuff that comes with it just comes with it. Like everybody know, like I'm the person, I take full accountability for everything that transpired with me. Like that's probably like one of my that's like one of my biggest things to think about, because even after that, like I tell people, like it was still a whole bunch of it was like a bunch of opportunities for me to go back and play. Like I was just so mentally like removed from it. Like yeah, it was just like I said, a real bad place. I had been to rehab, had been and did all that, talked through everything, and kind of just got like realization of where I was. And it's just like I was just removed from it. Like I couldn't. It was literally gonna take me like to get over whatever the hell was going on in order to get back to that person that people like to see play and make moves, score touchdowns. Dude, I wasn't a fucking person no more. Like literally, like I literally was not that person. So I literally had got back to that person, but like by the time that I got back to that person, me personally, I felt like boy, too much time has passed. Like I'm watching the game now, and it's like. They moving a little different now. Damn, that time go fast. Like they can do some stuff. So I kind of just ended up just, falling into like the training stuff and falling into coaching and doing stuff. Still like staying involved with the game because I obviously love the game, but that's one of the main parts that sit with me because I always feel like I have a big support system. Like that's the whole thing. I have a big support around me. I got a lot of people that like
You got to
enjoy it. Like they enjoy they enjoy watching me play. So like the whole thing with me was like, dang, like I kind of like I took that from y'all. Like I robbed a lot of people of opportunity to see like my full potential of what I can do. Like, and I say that to people all the time. Like they bring up
this big burden to carry.
Yeah, they bring up this person, that person. It's like I'm just in my head. Like I just know. If I could have made that happen a little, like just chill, just understood where my feet were at the time and not, going to like a rebellious, whatever you want to call it or whatever I was classifying it as at the time, like just knowing like if I could have got over that, but I know what kind of career like was ahead of me. Like I know it.
Ace,
So
you're preaching to the choir.
Like that. We talk,
Trust me, man,
like
I know.
Exactly.
Trust me, man.
Right, even with you, like I tell people all the time, like, man, it's gonna be hard for y'all to like ask me to find a better like quarterback, in my opinion. Like, I know him. It's like the personality that goes along with how we ran things and how like comfortable he made everybody on the field feel. And I'm like, that's a special trait to have. A lot of people can't pull people together. Like, okay, even when it's going to hell right now, like he can rally the troops.
Right.
We've talked a lot about that.
Yeah,
I was about to
like
say,
it was like
Pat and I have definitely talked about that.
bro, it's just traits that you had that it just like was different. Like I said, like like I said, this is another reason why Columbia was just special. Like down that quarterback room, down the line, all y'all had something different that was like, man,
Very different.
Like very different. It's just like what like, all right, this is almost getting situational. Like, hey, I get in this situation, I need him. Like, I need him. And this is not about football. This is literally about falling apart. Like, do I need the word of gospel? Call Dylan. Like, I need to get Dylan on the line. Hey, we need to uplift it. And it's like, it was different. Like, we actually had leaders down the line for different situations of life in that quarterback room. And it's like, all right, I'm always comfortable. Like, I'm comfortable. I know what this person is going to bring. I know what this person is going to bring. I know how he's going to make it work. I know how he's going to make it work. It was always easy for me to adapt to that. But Steve is a Florida boy.
we all
he's
are,
a
man.
Florida boy.
Yeah, we had a lot of, there was a lot of us.
Boy. A whole lot of us. Like, a lot of us. He's a Florida boy. But, like, I'm telling you.
I'll tell you
like,
what, Ace, man, just you kind of hit on it earlier, man. You know, you're coaching now. We've run camps together, and you know, I like to do it again this off season, especially with Juice. That's
You
you know,
already know.
we're doing Sundays every Sunday, man, and we probably had like 50 or 60 kids out there today. So I mean, it's gotten good, man. But like, you know, going from, you know, playing and now you're coaching a high school team, you're doing your training, like how uplifting is that to kind of inspire the next generation of kids that are trying to go do what, you know, what you guys did?
Man, that's my number one reason. Like, I literally don't play like about these kids. Like, being like, I can recall
Oh,
a
I see the
time,
videos, man.
bro.
You do not mince
I
words,
don't,
man.
bro.
You
I
let it
don't
ride.
at all, bro. Because like, it's just certain stuff that you wish you had, like somebody just be like blood raw with you about before you even take. Because everything they going for is so cutthroat that you can take that the wrong way and not understand. Like, bro, it's business, bro. This how it go. Like, I don't get
Right.
into entrepreneurship and everything, and it's just like, no, bro, business. I don't care how you feel, right? Business. I got to keep it rolling. No hard feelings, man. Because, like, even, like, when I got released from Jacksonville, that was the same question. Like, everybody loved me in Jacksonville. So, like, the calls I got from, you know, like, David Caldwell, Coach Bradley, like, everybody, it was just more so just, like, disappointment. Like, they just, like, if they didn't want to get rid of me, like, it's like, you a good character to have in the room. Like, you help rooms out. Like, people like you. People embrace you for whatever people gravitate towards you. It's more sad to see you go. And it's like, yeah,
Right.
it is. It's very sad. It's a sad situation. But that's my whole point with this generation of kids that I have now, that I'm fortunate to have around me now, is we don't take nothing for granted. We don't play with this. This can do a lot for your life, whether you touch a football after whatever reason. And this also is just don't care. This still is one of the easiest routes to go, whether you plan on being a superstar or not, whether you plan on being a top draft pick or not. You can take this, and get this scholarship to this school and get on a platform and meet different people and set your life up in a different way. Bro, get the hell from out here. Just like you said, I got to get from out of Tampa. Like, I tell these kids, y'all going to get from out of Bradenton. Like, this is small time here. You got to go get with another group of individuals. Like, I found y'all. Like, I tell people, like, I talk to T Camp all the time. I tell T Camp, like, bro, you were like one of the most
crazy ass.
You was one of the most influential people like I met. Like, I don't know why. Like, you were the finesse king. Like, you showed me a whole bunch of stuff. Like, I mean, like, you showed me a lot of stuff. I don't think you really realized you were showing me like one of my.
He didn't even know, man. He was just him, man.
He was
But I
just
think you
him.
hit the nail on the head. I think you hit the nail on the head, and that's what makes football such a great sport, is that there's so many different, diverse people that otherwise you would never meet, man.
You would never.
You know what I'm saying? Like you would have no right. It translates to life. You know, it gets hard sometimes, and it's how you bounce back. So
it's how you bounce back, man. So since I got given that chance to be able to, deliver that message to the kids, that's just, they know how I am. They know I don't care about a win. I don't care about a loss because we've been through everything. And if it's about continuing on a career, we've built enough to make sure you're able to do that. But what you're going to have to do is respect the game and do what you need to
Right.
do, what's required. And that's what we teach. Like, it ain't really about X's and O's and stuff. I can show you all that too. That's easy. That's second nature. Like, that's stuff we go through. Like, but all this other stuff is a lot more important to keep you grounded so you can stay in it. Like, if you can't stay in, we talking about longevity. I want you to be there and get as much money as you can forever. Like, until you can't do it anymore. Like, get what you can get out of it, or go create some experiences, meet some new friends, get some people that can show you how to do stuff. I met some crazy people at South Carolina that got businesses that are, and I'm like, bro, like, shit, I wish I was that kid that could do that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you just never know what you can get to. So they got to get on that platform, though. I preach that platform. If you ain't getting out of here, then you ain't doing nothing. So
Yeah. I mean, look at us, man. We all left our respective cities and went to Columbia, and for better or for worse, man. I mean, I think about it all the time, like, man, should I have transferred? Should I have left? And I remember Coach Spurrier asking me, and Coach Reeves. You guys, Pat, you remember Coach Reeves, I'm sure.
Yep, Dan Reeves.
But I mean, I remember sitting in my apartment, and they came by and they were like, "You can transfer, you can leave. You know, we're not gonna." This is back before the transfer portal, and you don't. We're not gonna withhold you from transferring to another SEC school. Like, maybe Columbia's just not for you. And I was like, "Listen here, motherfuckers. I came here to play for you guys, to be part of this program. I'm staying here. You're gonna have to feel like Wolf of Wall Street. They're gonna need a wrecking ball to get me out of here." And obviously they did, but you know.
it's
But I
so
mean
funny that you even bring up like transferring in the first place. I tell y'all, that's one thing I forgot to mention. Probably should have forgot to mention it, but that first week of college, that entire 2010 class, we had a meeting amongst each other.
Oh
Yeah, we had a meeting amongst each other, and every one of us was about to transfer. After the first week, we was like, "This ain't it." Like, I literally remember. I'll never forget it. Like, I remember Lat called everybody to his dorm room, and like all us went in there because it was just like clear to see, like with all us, like we were not enjoying it. Like we were not enjoying it. He was like, "Y'all still got y'all coaches' contacts?" And I was like, "Man, I got all my contacts. Like, I'll leave right now. Like, this is not it." Like, but it was just us transitioning to the amount of work that was being put on. Like, we were young, so it's like our first instinct was about to be to run. Like, we were about to run. But at the end of that
that's what
meeting,
it is now, man.
That's why I understand where it come from. But it's like we hit another gear. It was just like, you know what? Like, by the time we left that room, it was like, what y'all think? I think we should get like this is kids. This is 8 to 17 and 18-year-old kids talking amongst each other in the room, like coming to the conclusion of, hey, what y'all think, man? Should we give it a few more weeks? And all of us looking around at each other like, all right. And that few weeks like literally turned into like, boy, I'm glad we had that first meeting. Like I'm glad we talked, we stayed, and we stuck with that. Like people don't even know like that part of it, because that was something that we was like, we'll never leave.
This is the first I've ever heard of that. Pat, I don't know about you, but that's the first I've ever heard of that.
You wouldn't.
I remember calling home to mom and dad as a freshman, like, I don't know if I was made for this. But I mean, it's the rite of passage. It's not supposed to be easy. It's not supposed to be fun. It's not supposed to be enjoyable.
Everyone would do it.
But the work, the continual work ends up, you start to see the progress, you start to see the product, and you're like, oh, hell, like, and it's all part of the madness.
Boy, you're absolutely right, because that was that's all that was going on. But we came to the conclusion of we give it a few weeks, and plus we saw y'all going through it. It's like, man, if they like, it got to that point where it's like, all right, hey man, y'all got to drop y'all that. Stop being punks. Like, you can handle
that's it.
Like,
yep.
I was actually scared to call home to my dad and tell him something like that, because that's exactly what he would have told me. Like, get the hell off my phone. Like, don't call me with that. Like, don't call. You know what we've been through down here and what we work for and what we. All right, man. All right, maybe I am being soft. Like,
exactly.
But it is so important to have like mentors, coaches. Like, what you're doing is you're transforming you're transforming young men and you're making them better football players, but you're also teaching them life lessons that's going to stick with them for the rest of their lives. There's so much stuff that all of us took from the shit that we went through in high school, college, professional level that led us into the men, the husbands, the fathers that we are now. Like it all goes full circle. And it's crazy to see all those little things like just take picture into what the big picture is.
Yep, it is. I'm telling you that it don't get no better than that. Like people ask me why I started coaching high school, for that to be involved in more of that generation's transitional period, rather than, because I was doing stuff with like little kids. I was doing youth league level stuff. I still do that to this day. I do that along with the high school stuff. So it's like I'm touching a little bit of every single generation that I can, and like if I can mold you from the bottom, like you might not need as much once you get up here, but Steve knows. Steve knows. Like the kids that are around here now in high school right now. Oh my God! Like boy, oh my God! Like I say, y'all gotta be the most entitled group of kids I've ever met in my life. Like y'all,
It's
like
shocking. It's absolutely shocking, man. Like I don't. I mean, I enjoy drinking a cold beer, but after those workouts, it's like I can't deal with it. And the parents too, man. The parents are like, it's like, shut the hell up, man.
I'm
Like
like, bro, do
I,
y'all
I
know?
kind of know a
Y'all know
little bit
what
what
y'all
I'm talking. It's like you're paying me to do this, man. Shut the hell up and
like.
go stand over there.
Like, do y'all know what y'all
It's
getting yourself into? Like, do y'all know the road that y'all about to have to travel? Like, everything that y'all pulling right now, I'm telling you, is a no-no. Like, I'm telling you this from experience. That's not going to work. You can't go talk to these people or try to cry for the kid. Like, he has to get in line, bro. Like, everybody want this job. First of all, like, bro, they
Ace,
don't need it.
I love that I love that you posted on Instagram too. Like when you're talking to these kids, it's like I did it, man. I know what the hell I'm talking about. Like
Man,
you're gonna go through
you gonna
the
go
war
there. Don't
zone.
worry. Don't worry. I tell them all the time, don't worry about it. Like, I tell you this today, I hope you get it by the time you have to leave me. Like, if not, then, hey, what I was told is, hey, you can't save everybody. So I do not sit around here and try to save everybody.
What was Coach Spurrier's thing? Yeah, it's my fault for putting you in the game.
That's what it is. It's my
It's my
fault.
fault.
Like, after a while, it's my fault. I had too much faith in
It's not your fault. It's my fault for putting you in.
I had too much faith.
Yeah.
You want to talk about a kick in the nuts?
That's
That's the biggest insult.
the biggest. The
Oh,
biggest
that was
And
insult.
tough.
And you got to
that was his
realize,
go-to.
That was his go-to, and it was God. It was just a dagger.
like, and it's like, what, like, because you had to read between, like, oh, wow, okay. You gonna take the blame for that? Like, okay. You don't even want to yell at me. Just yell at me like normal coaches do. He's like, nah, man, it's okay. It's my fault. It's just my fault. It's my fault.
I gave you the scholarship. Don't understand. It's my fault. I'm the one who I've recruited your area. I thought you were good enough.
All right, Ace, man, there's a fan question here, and it says, I see him as a regular at a number of elite 7-on-7 tournaments that we've been at. Ask him how he feels about the recent explosion of 7-on-7 circuits, and if he feels it's more beneficial or harmful to the growth of young tackle football players during the offseason.
Always more beneficial. I don't care how anybody pays 7.
100%.
As long as you're just like anything else, it could be a double-edged sword. It's just about how the people you're around are using it. You know what I mean? Like, I use it as more chances to sharpen your toolbox. You know what I mean? It's not
Right.
about the wins and losses. It's not about the hype. Like, you have to get involved in some of that stuff if you want to compete on certain levels, because, you know, it's just how it is. Like, I hate that I have to do it on some of my stuff. Like, I really hate that. Like, I just want to go do football. Like, hey, they playing football over here. I got a group of kids. Yeah, y'all want to play football? That's literally how I look at it. Like, I got a playbook. No, we will not run routes from right next to the center. No, because that's not real football. We will run regular concepts out here in 7-on-7. If you can do this out here, you sharpening your toolbox for football. So I use it literally just as a tool for kids to sharpen their, you know, to iron on nine. Our passing, if you come down the floor, I'm going to be like honest, like this is just how I feel. I watch a lot of high school football now, of course, too, but the passing game here sucks. It's not the best, like from everybody. It's not like to the point where you see football at now. If I look and say, hey, this kid is going to be able to go and play right now at a Power 5 school as a passer. We don't throw the ball enough. The concepts and the stuff that we try to run is not enough. But, like, once I get with some of these kids and I work with them, because, like I said, this is my first year coaching high school ball. Once I get with a kid, like Pat said, like, I like watching pro ball, so I'm thinking, okay, when we get here, I'm gonna install this stuff into this off and get these kids on. They can't do it.
No,
Right.
no
They
way.
can't do it.
It's
So it
slightly
has
different.
to come back down. So it got to come all the way back down, but you'll be shocked. You say, okay, well, bring it back down to maybe a collegiate level. They can't.
Yeah, I mean, you
Like,
look
it's
at
not-
even in
it-
college football. Like college football, there's not that many. I mean, there's some 3-level concepts, but you look at there's so many bubble screens, so many like quick slants, screen game. There's so much like of the
right.
the zone read RPO stuff that
Yep.
isn't necessarily you're going through your progressions, you're getting down to your back and checking it down. Not that.
So that's where that part right there is where 7-on-7 kicks in for me. Like, it's for the quarterback. I care what nobody say. That is for the quarterback. If you have a quarterback that you work, get you a quarterback. He could right here. You 7-on-7. You have to go through progressions. There's nothing else you can do. There's literally nothing else in the game. Like, that's it.
I'm slightly on the other side of it because I see some of these kids that just take the ball off the tee and they just stand there and just hop around. It's like that ain't football, dude. You're gonna get clownied.
That's the double edge. That's the double edge.
A lot of people got
teams,
clownied.
You see my quarterback, you're taking drops. You go step up. I make you play just like you played in the game. Like, the whole time.
You got to
mirror these reps. I don't care. Hey, coach, I could just stand here. I don't care. Work on your craft. Always find a way to work on it. That's free reps, though, Steve. That's free reps of scale.
It is.
Free reps of scale. So that's how I look at it. That's free reps right here against everybody. And then, let's say, like for us, for instance, it did a lot for my kids, taking them to Georgia, and we play against Camden's team. They got their own. They do the media stuff. I don't like to do the media stuff, so I like to go to places that like to do it, so they'll handle all of it. Hey, if you play good enough, you'll end up on their media. Because I'm not doing it. Like, I don't like to get involved with that too much. And
I'll tell you what, man. Pat loves doing the media.
Look, I'm gonna send them that way. I'm gonna tell you.
So another question said, I've seen your videos on Instagram. Do you think you can still suit up?
Look, I got like a good. Well, nah. It's over.
You got a couple drives.
It's over with. It's over. I got a couple drives, but I just know like that ain't enough. Like, it's over with though. Like, it's over with. I tell my kids to this day, like, I get out there, I do a couple drills, and they're like, Coach, you can still. This is drill. Like, this ain't. This is a drill. Like, it's a drill. Like, of course, I got times where I watch. We all watch, and we like real students of the game. I could watch and nitpick all day what I see in there. Like, oh man, he ain't doing that. Like, he's not doing that. But it ain't no way in hell I'm getting up and going to do that. Like, it ain't no way in hell.
Well, this is one that everybody wants to hear. Like, tell us the art of returning punts. Like, was it something that you started like middle school, high school, or was this college and then you just built your toolbox there?
Okay, so like the art behind it, I feel like I learned at South Carolina. A lot of stuff just started making a lot more sense. Anything previous to that was just me being me. Like, it was no art to it. It was just me being me. Of course, anything prior to that gonna be like high school level. Anyways, we all know they don't really cover special teams and do stuff like that in high school. That's like the easiest touchdown I was gonna find. So it's like, but once I got to South Carolina and we actually had like real film sessions, real special team coach. You play for, Coach Beamer, and then we get Coach Joe from LSU, like, and they're breaking stuff down. It makes you think, like, how can I analyze this the way that they analyze this return happening? And my art came from, knowing what I'm good at and knowing what suited me best. Coach Beamer was always more scheme heavy. He was scheme heavy. And I won't lie to y'all, I hate schemes on punt return. I like freedom. I don't want schemes. I don't want a wall. I don't want anything. Man-to-man block, double the gunners, and let me play
football. You do the rest.
And let me play football, literally. Yep. So, and it's like, for me, that always was a lot easier for the guys that were out there with me, too. It's like, there's no scheme involved. Hey, kick that dude ass for me right quick. Like, and you know exactly how our team at South Carolina was built. I tell them to do that, they're like, that's it. That's all. Like, gotcha. Like I'm like, yeah, I used to see bodies just flying all the time while I'm running. I can make a move and everybody get caught up with the move, but you didn't see the 3 people behind him laid out,
Right.
laid out, laid out. Yeah, that's why this path
Yep.
opened up. It wasn't really the move. The move helped, but they laid them out. I was able to see, like I said, this Michigan game. I took 1 foot in the ground and saw the punter. Everybody else was already blocked. Like it was already taken care of. It's like find a scene.
Yeah, you're like, you're a dead man.
You're
punter
like
from
you're
Michigan.
dead. I wanted him. Like the whole punt return team knew I wanted to get to the punter, and they were like, "We'll get you there." It's like that Georgia game,
And then-
like those middle returns and stuff like that with Coach Joe. Like you said, like just breaking it down. It just suited everybody. Like even Shaq. Shaq used to be the main one to just tell me, "Hey, we'll get them in third and long. They got to kick it to you. Just do what you do. We'll do the rest." Simple.
And then you got DeMario out there trying to tackle you.
Trying to look.
Yeah.
Damn
Yeah,
Dirt.
you're playing
Dirt,
12.
dog. Dirt. Damn, Dirt.
Oh, Dirt. That guy was out of his mind.
Man,
I wonder what the hell he's doing these days.
I got Dirt on Facebook. Dirt doing, dang, I just seen he just posted something. Dirt doing some type of work. I just seen him. I just seen Byron, not Jared though, Byron
Night.
Byron McKnight, everybody. Like I'm like, yeah, it's good to still see everybody like kind of still, up and they doing.
We had a great group. We
Literally.
all learned so much from each other, and we all like. Although I haven't seen you, I've been following you on social media. We've texted back and forth, and we've shot each other messages there. But it's such a cool bond playing college football with guys that you didn't know going in there, and you end up leaving as great buddies.
For sure.
For sure.
Great buddy.
Oh, even Ace is chiming in on the for sure team.
Ace, are you going to any games this year? I know we
Yeah,
talked
I'm
about
trying
if
to.
you're
Yeah,
gonna go.
so I know. Unfortunately, my season will be over November 7th, and it kills me because I always had it in my head to make it up to like Columbia. Like I try to group these trips because my birthday is November 11th. They always play along that weekend, so I'm looking at that week. But I think we play away, so it may be the next week. But I'm definitely coming to one of these games before this season ends.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, that might be the golf tournament.
Yeah.
Oh, just send me that date, and I can just
man.
make that. No, you send me that date, I'll just make it that day. Like that's better. Like you just give me another reason to come. Yeah, we could play golf. Hell yeah, we can play golf. Yeah, we can play golf.
We'll have a big time.
Yeah, I'm with that.
Hey, we'll get the band back together.
I'm with that. I can't look. I ain't turning that down. I'm with that.
Well,
Dude, this was so fun. We're glad you're doing well. Keep doing your thing down there. Keep impacting people like you did us during our time in Carolina together. But we love you. Gamecock Nation loves you. And thank you for spending time with us tonight.
Hell yeah, man.
Definitely appreciate y'all for having me. It's all love forever, man.
Hell yeah, man. Well, I'm gonna text you after this, man. We gotta figure out some camp situations.
Yeah, figure out the camps and send me the dates for that golf tournament. I'll go ahead and lock that in. And I'll go ahead and get off my ducks in line now.
Perfect.
I gotta go get some kids to bed.